Hi, this is Francis. So, I used to be a young genius. Since I remember, I've always been a gifted kid. The kid who was told that I was super smart, super intelligent, super wise, like this old soul of a kid. And I've always had a super easy time picking up any skill I wanted. I was extremely creative since childhood. I could draw, paint, play guitar, write stories, write comic books. Extremely creative. And for the 28 years of my life, I've always been told, like, you have such an enormous potential. Who if not you? And today, being 28 years old, I'm finding myself driving as an Uber driver. And nobody understands why I did this. Why I dropped universities, dropped careers, dropped jobs, dropped relationships that didn't suit me. And people ask, trying to understand, but it's so complex. And if you take the decision based on 28 years of experience, it's it's impossible to explain in just a couple of minutes. And people ask, trying to understand, but to be honest, most people don't have the time to listen for 10, 20, 40 minutes of why someone did something that most people would never do. Yeah, this is why I'm making this video. First of all, to organize thoughts in my head, because this is a complex stuff, and I would like to clear this out for myself, but also to maybe help someone that is in a tough spot themselves, and hearing about me being in my tough spot would help them clear out the path for themselves. So I always have been a creative kid. I felt like a creator since the beginning. I always wanted to draw, and I was drawing stories, and I was coming up with those stories in my head. And I was loving it. I was creating these comic books, other stories, my own superheroes, and I was not interested in just like drawing for itself. I wanted to be like this universe creator, like Tolkien or George R.R. Martin. I was super inspired by Lord of the Rings. I was super inspired by Game of Thrones, and I wanted to write my own stuff. So in school, I was having easy time always acing any subject. Literature, no problem. Very interested in this stuff. Math, no problem. Really interested in this stuff. I was just good at anything. I wanted to play a guitar because this seemed cool to me, and my parents bought me an electric guitar, and I learned to play just from YouTube videos. I just learned. And this built something in me, like this notion of, hey, I can really learn anything I want. There is nothing I cannot do. And through my entire lifetime, through my entire experiences and life paths and chapters in life, people were telling me, yeah, I see something in you. A lot of older people told me, yeah, you remind me of myself when I was young. And there's this notion of being afraid of being 30. It's like, yeah, well, if I don't achieve anything by 30, then I'm fucked, because Then I would be too old to start over. Then I would be too old to go to the normal job. Then wouldn't nobody would hire me. No women would like to date with me. So yeah, if I don't achieve anything by 30, I'm fucked. And this changed when I went to Iceland, and I was living in Iceland for 2 years, and I met Icelandic people like 20, 30 years older than me, and they were thinking of like what I want to do in the future. And I was like, what future? You're 50, you're 30, 45. What future? And this is when it occurred to me. You don't have to be afraid of being 30. So this opened myself to try new things and to really risk. And I was really risky at my 20s, I would say. Risky in a calm way. So what I'm trying to say is, when I finished high school and I had to go to the university, I had a great exam result, so I could choose any university and any subject I wanted. But I really didn't know what I want to do. I really, like, if I'm thinking about this right now, I didn't even consider. I said, okay, I'm good at math and I can do math. Math is cool. But do I really want to? So then my friend just told me, yeah, go with me for this automatic devices and robot programming. So let's study this because this is difficult and this is challenging. And I said, okay, if this is the most challenging subject at the university, I want to do this. This seems like something good to me. Some good challenge for my learning abilities. So I went there and I was studying a lot of math, a lot of physics, electronics and stuff, and programming as well. And I didn't quite like it. This wasn't for me. I felt like this is not so creative. When I was in high school, I was writing this my fantasy story, my fantasy book, and I wrote like 35 chapters. And for me, being in this story, writing this, being those characters, this was like, wow, I am alive. I am creating these worlds. I can spend like my entire Saturday just sitting down on the computer with a big cup of tea, with a big chocolate, and I could just write. This was the best day of my life. But being at the university studying math, which I love as well, this wasn't quite, something was missing. However, I liked programming because there was a bit of creativity. I could build something, I could create something, and this felt like, yeah, this is what would be better for me. So I decided that I will just go and change subjects the next year. So I applied for a programmer class, but they didn't pick me. I had I had too low results and they didn't pick me. So I said, okay, I'll just have to go to the normal job for half a year, 1 year. Then I will take the exams again and I will ace it, and then I'll go for programming and I will be a programmer. And I'll make good money and I will make some cool games or cool apps or whatever. So I went to the sales job because I found that being well paid for results, not just paid for fucking minimum wage. And I loved it. I loved it. Because then in sales, I discovered that I have also the other side, not only this creative, introverted side, but also charismatic, extroverted, leadership. This was in me, and I awakened this. Was like this awakening giant within. I said, wow, am I really this person? Like a star, like a showman? Amazing, amazing. And this was always in myself in some way, but I didn't let myself out. So I was working in sales, and yeah, the results varied. I wasn't the best salesman. My problem was that I wanted to push it really hard, like push myself to make results, to have results. But this was impossible. Impossible. There is some kind of seduction in sales. You have to do it smooth, and I wasn't good at it. I was trying to work hard, and it's not about working hard. It's about working smart. And I was miserable at sales. I was miserable, and I wasn't good. But at that time, being 22 years old, dropping the university, and then not coming back, while all of my friends from school, my age, they were having fun, studying, having sex at the university, having this student's life, and I was abroad, because I went abroad, trying to make a living and trying to do something big. Because in sales, there's often always this narrative of, yeah, next month, if you will ace this month, you can make this tons of money. And I was sold on this idea. I was like, yeah. So the next half year, next 6 months, I'm gonna make it. And I will come to my friends, I will show this red Ferrari or whatever, like, I will show off them. And they will say, yeah, we've been fucking wasting our time in these universities while Francis, he was taking the right decision all along. No one noticed it. Didn't happen. I was miserable. I had no results, and I was kind of going through the notions of just survival. This is terrible. And this is funny, because now I see how this is connecting with spiral dynamics as well. If you know spiral dynamics, there's this stage blue, where is this kind of religious structure, and the society is structured in this hierarchical way. And then this society realizes, hey, we can actually do something on our own. And then there's this entrepreneurial spirit and the success notion and study. Like, yeah, we don't need this shit. We can do it on our own. So this was kind of a chapter for me. Like, I dropped universities. I went from my country to a different city, to a different country. And I was just trying to make it, like, be successful and push myself to success. So I was working there for 2 years, and I was miserable. And then one day, they just fired me. They just said, yeah, Francis, you don't have any results. We have to fire you. So I was fired, and this was the best day of my life. I was freed up, and because I was so afraid to drop it myself, because I already dropped the university, and I put all of my hopes in this job, and if I drop this shit, what my friends would say, this was like impossible for me. So if the decision was taken by my boss, I was relieved, and I was so happy. And I said, yeah, right now I have a clear chapter, clear page, clean sheet, and I can write something new. I can do something new. So then I entered the other stage, the stage green. So I was tired of this toxic success saleship bullshit. And I watched the movie Into the Wild. And this spoke to me. This was like, wow, this is something that I want to do. Like, being freed up from society. I don't care about the society. Fuck this shit. I just want to, like, go on an adventure. I need an adventure. My life is so boring. Working in this office all the time, like in fucking prison. I want adventure. I want to go, just go straight. And my heart was like singing for it. I was like super interested in this stuff. And yeah, I was researching this, and I was wanting to go abroad again and finding opportunities in different countries, and wanted to live somewhere cool. And then it somehow manifested. I manifested it. I was preparing mentally for this. I was planning this, even though I didn't want to. I didn't knew what I exactly wanted to do. But it's manifested. My friend invited me on to Iceland. So I went to Iceland, and then I was having this totally different chapter. I was working in the normal job as a driver, but I had the opportunity to listen to audiobooks all day long. And I listened to everything, man. I listened to every self-development, spiritual success book there was. I knew all of them. But this is a problem, that when you listen to so much information, you think that you are making progress, but actually you are still in the same place. So there are information there is in your head, but your life doesn't change. And you don't even see this because you are so close to it. So your mind is kind of expanding, but your life is still on the same path, which is kind of shit. So in Iceland, I decided that I will write my book. And since childhood, I've always wanted to do a lot of stuff, different things. But I had a problem of not completing any projects I started. I was dropping any project at 70% completion, and this was so bad because this was so bad. So, but I had in myself this book about the character that is going through this character change, like this character development, ego leveling up, which I experienced. And I just wanted so badly to write this. So I went to Iceland with one goal, just to write my book. And those few months that I was writing it, I was in pure flow. If you know the book Flow, there's this concept of being like outside of the time and just being so involved in this creative task that you're just one in this creation, and the time doesn't matter because you are inside of it. And while I was writing, the ideas were just coming from anything. Like right now I can see the bird flying, or like this funny situation, the boat floating, and I said, yeah, I want to have it in my book. And you get constant inspiration from everything. And this was when I felt alive. I felt fucking alive, and I said, yes, I want to be a writer. I want to write books. I want to create worlds and create stories and have my philosophy and the things I'm learning inside of those books for someone to read the story and then to absorb my philosophy through stories, not just fucking self-help book that I could write as well. So I wrote the book, and this was great. But I knew I had to write another one. So I was writing then another one. But I was thinking, I don't have any audience. I don't have anyone that would like to read it. I'm no one. And I'm passionate about writing, but I don't want to spend myself like marketing and selling this book. I don't want to do this. So I just kept it in my drawer, and it's there. It's done, and it's for 5 years right now. It's there. So then I was thinking, maybe I could start a YouTube channel, just promoting my books and talking about writing and whatever. And oh man, if only I did. If only I did. This was in 2019. I could be so big right now. Just talking about stuff, learning on the go. But I needed 4 or 3 years to really come to this realization and to have the guts to start or to develop myself to make it naturally, not to push myself. So 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 then I came back to my home country and from Iceland. And also I went through spiritual chapter on Iceland. I was meditating every day for half a year, for 1 hour every day, and I gained access to new consciousness of myself, of my thoughts, of my feelings. So before I was just living life, and right now I am so conscious about my emotions. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this anxiety, anger, sadness. Why is that? So I can then go in myself and think, okay, what is causing this? This and this and this and this and this. Cool. So right now I can. Trust. Yeah. So when I came back to Iceland, I had a new mindset, new spiritual mindset, and new spiritual tools and knowledge about manifestation and knowledge about my consciousness. And I also had money, which was important for me. Because then I realized, no, not realized, I decided that I won't go back to the normal work, normal job. I will just take the money that I saved and I will just spend it on my lifestyle. I will maximize it and I'll just create, I will write my books. And I was, first day I started doing my lifestyle, living from my savings, I was so fucking afraid. I was so afraid because the vision of me like using all of my money was so scary. Like, wow, what if I will one day I will just this will finish, you know? So I said, but I have new tools. I have new tools. So I'll just manifest. I will manifest more money. So for real, I was trying to manifest money. And I was just living life, going to the gym, being afraid of creating. Actually, not really creating, but just living life, meeting new people, and trying to manifest more money. But actually, I was living in such a fear. This was not pure like manifestation bullshit. This was the manifestation bullshit that I was trying to fake it. I was not really wealthy inside. I was just trying to like force myself, force reality, force bend it. And again, you have to do this as sales, kind of like seduce it a little bit. But I didn't know it at the time. And one day I finished all of my money and I had to go to the normal job again in sales. And I had to borrow money. So I had to go in debt. So I went from being so high, free, with money, open to creativity, a great start, to suddenly having no time, having to work for someone else, going in a sales job that I hated with debt. So just like 180. And I was miserable again. And I was changing jobs, and I was realizing, because I came to every job I came with this new tool stuff, mindset, working with my subconscious mind. spirituality, manifestation. I can ace it. Right now, I will just seduce in sales, seduce the results. Didn't work. I was so miserable and I was hating my life. And I was constantly in this in-between period of like, yeah, the next half year will be amazing. Today is shit. The next half year will be amazing. So I was writing letters to myself. The letter from today to open it 6 months from now, just to see myself, because I was so hating my current state that I was trying to teleport myself to the state of being 6 months from now, just to have a sneak peek. And I was asking questions in those letters. Hey, how is it in sales? Do you have some results half year from now? And I was constantly opening those letters from 6 months before, and I was saying, nothing happens, man. This is so shit. So then I realized, okay, I have to drop this again. I have to drop this. I changed the job again and I decided that I will make money online, because I just searched it in Google, how to make money online. And there was it, like making courses. So I said, yeah, I can make a course. What am I good at? I'm writing books. I could make a course about writing books. And this was really my business idea, a course about writing books. But in this, in this plan, strategy of the course making, you had to start a YouTube channel. And for years I was thinking about this, because this is the creativity but that I love. But I was so afraid. I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do this, blah, 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 blah. So, but finally I took the decision, okay, I have to do this. I have to start my YouTube channel. And I did. In 2022. I did. After 3-4 years of thinking about this and dreaming about this. And I started learning YouTube because I was getting like 17 views, which probably I'm getting as well on this video. But I was just pushing forward. And I learned a lot about YouTube, about video editing, about psychology of videos. This is amazing and I love this stuff. And this is, finally I felt like, yeah, I'm using all of my skill stack. Creativity, writing, painting, music, philosophy, self-development. I'm learning this entire skill stack that I have, and I can put it in the biggest game there is. Because writing is cool, but writing novels is cool. But this is a dying market. Nobody is really reading books. Okay, there is a niche, but this is not something growing. YouTube is a fucking future. YouTube and videos and content creation, this is a future. And finally, I found something that matches my skills and also matches my potential. Finally matches my potential. Because I was constantly dropping and changing everything and trying new things. So I came to YouTube. That YouTube is a thing for me because I can put my skill stack inside. And I felt like I was training for this for my entire life. So again, in 2023, when I was fired again from the sales job, I decided, you know what, fuck this shit. I will not come back to the sales job again. I will just be a video editor because I'm good at this. This is creative work. It's amazing. I will just do it and I will expand my YouTube channel. I will have success. Finally, some video will go viral. And yeah. But for 1 year, I was working as a video editor, opening my company, making YouTube videos about content creators, trying to learn new stuff, and always trying to go viral, always trying to figure it out. And I was having those clients, video editing clients, but this was hard because when you work as a creative for someone else and you had to create using using my strongest skill, creativity, my top value, creativity, using this in the job, then I didn't have the time, didn't have the brain power, and didn't have the creative juices for my own stuff. So this was kind of draining me. There's also like huge competition of video editing market. And there's this notion of like creating personal brand of yourself. But I didn't want to be a video editor. This felt to me like I'm more meta. I'm more not higher, but you know what I mean. I'm interested in more stuff than just video editing. I just don't want to go into that niche. So I was working as a video editor for a lot of time, and maybe I'm not so good. Maybe I'm not so good. I'm decent, but I'm not perfect. I'm this. I'm not so detailed or oriented, to be honest. I love these paintings because you can just splash the paint on the canvas. But being so fucking detailed, like a neurosurgeon, this isn't for me. I'm too chaotic for this stuff. So I was not paid well, and I had a hard time finding a client that wanted to work with me. And I was again thinking about my life, like, yeah, again, 28 years old, and again, I tried something new, and again, I'm dropping it, and I'm dreaming about being a creator, but also an entrepreneur, having my business and having my products and solving problems, really helping people in a genuine way. But I'm so struggling to do this. And I had this friend that we want to create this company and have software for creators and have a lot of projects, and we are kind of working on it, but constantly we change projects and we constantly come with something new and the old project dies. This seems like a theme of my life. So this comes this day, today, that I decided lately that even with the enormous potential and enormous creativity, I really need to have a base, like a financial base and some stability in my life, because I was constantly dropping things and changing themes of my life and going to the new chapters, which is so exciting but ADHD like. So I decided to become a Uber driver, which is not so good looking. This is what I mean. Like, people say, what the fuck, Francis, you have such enormous potential and you are wasting your life, wasting your potential, wasting your genius on this shit. You shouldn't do this. Yeah, but people don't understand the story behind it. Because right now I have a financial stability and I can work when I want to. I have a flexible lifestyle and can go during the day in this beautiful view. And I have a creative space for myself. I am not trained, and I can as well listen to audiobooks all day and being inspired by different creators and thinking all day about what I will create in my free time. So I just wanted to show this video because I think there's a lot of people lost in their journeys. And this may seem like I found it and I found the place for myself, but I don't think so. I am still and I hate this, but this is still in between period. But I'm trying to enjoy life and enjoy this. I try to enjoy this stupid life in the moment, which is, it sounds cheesy. It sounds cheesy, and it is cheesy. What I'm trying to say is, before I was living in the future, writing letters to myself. Right now, I kind of like my life because I have financial stability and also space for working on my creative projects. And I have so much ideas and I have so much topics that I would like to talk. I have so much like ideas and things I read about, and this is why I want to create these kind of videos, like raw videos, just me talking to the camera with no editing, because the editing could take me like 40 hours, 100 hours, and I have to push it, you know, like do a lot of creative stuff. So just to sum up and to go to the conclusion of this video, if you are a young genius and people are telling you, yeah, you have so much enormous potential, you should do this and this and this and this, believe in it. Believe that you can achieve anything you want. It sounds cheesy again, but you know what I mean. I really believe that I can do anything that I want to, because I can learn. If I could learn a guitar, if I could learn math, if I could learn programming, why can't I learn how to make millions of dollars, or how to create viral content? I'm learning this right now. And this is also, YouTube is a great space to do this and to train myself. And you know you can, because you are a young genius as me. And don't doubt it, because there's this narrative of like, if you would be a genius, you would know about it. And this is so fucking stupid, man. You can be a genius, and don't because there's this narrative of, yeah, you're probably not so special, so just like do your thing. But I'm not interested in decent things. I'm interested in the biggest things. I have huge ambition, and I want to do the biggest stuff there is. So I'm like, I'm not interested in 99% of advice. And with this video, I hope this finds a young genius that is struggling, that knows, or maybe thinks that, yeah, I have the potential, I am smart, but is struggling with results, that, as I am. And we will do it, man. We will do it. So just trying to find the good line to sum it up. What I'm trying to say is, you maybe think that there is something in you, something special, and I know it. And if people doubt it based on your results or based on the lifestyle of you, doesn't matter. So just do yourself and know what is inside of you and just do it. Thank you guys. This was Francis, and see you in the next one.